We are following breaking news right now in Northwest Portland, where we're hearing reports of police activity near Fremont Bridge. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Let's get right to Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson, who's live at the scene. Corey, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China, right now we're here at the scene. This is Northwest Quimby and 14th Avenue. You can see it's a very heavy police presence at this hour this morning, multiple patrol cars, and we've also seen tactical officials that are still currently out there. Several units out here this morning, and many keep arriving as well. Now, multiple blocks are shut down with crime scene tape and officers directing traffic. That includes this intersection as well as Northwest Raleigh and 15th Ave. And if you are headed through this area, make sure to avoid it, essentially, because drivers are being turned around and detoured. It's actually leading to a little bit of congestion. This is also an area where a bus driver, or several buses, are picking up children for school early this morning. Now, a woman spoke with us about 30 minutes ago who lives in the building. She told us police told her they were issuing a search warrant. Now, this is impacting pedestrian and transit. As I mentioned, police are keeping people back from the perimeter. At this point, police have not confirmed exactly what's prompted this large response this morning. We're still working to confirm exactly what happened and what the public safety concern is at this time, if there is one. We've also requested information from police, and we're watching and waiting for an official update. As soon as we get those details and we're updated, we'll continue to keep you updated as well. Back to you.
Corey, thanks for that. We also got a tip into the KGW newsroom that there may be something related with this, what was reported as a crash on the northbound ramp up to the Fremont Bridge. Again, we're working to confirm all of this with both ODOT and police, but at this point, the traffic impact on the freeway is this. We still have at least one lane blocked on 405 northbound heading up to the Fremont Bridge, and you can see that that is definitely stacking up the commute here on 405 north, and it's starting to spill over onto the Sunset. This is Highway 26 out near the zoo. So right now you're driving from Hillsboro's 23 minutes, but that'll probably start climbing here pretty quickly. Elsewhere in the freeway system, not too bad, but one other traffic alert to pass along. West commuter rail on the west side is disrupted between the Tigard Transit Center and Beaverton TC because of a mechanical issue. They're using shuttle buses to serve those stops. So Matthew and China, obviously riders on West expect some delays this morning. Rod?
Thank you for that, Chris. You know, if you were outdoors yesterday afternoon when it was in the 60s across much of the area, and then you take that first step outside this morning, probably feels extra chilly because of the difference. It was in the 60s yesterday in Salem, and now we've got frost on the grass this morning in front of the state capitol, and the current temperature at McNary Field of 34 degrees. Another sunny 60-degree day, probably a good bet. Here's a look at some fog that's been increasing over the Columbia River. You can't see the interstate bridge, but you can see on top of the fog, and there's Mount Hood. This is an area that's also been down to the freezing mark this morning. Clear view over to the east from the Wells Fargo building. The number out at PDX is 34. So to the bus stop we go. If you have some wind at your house, it's in the 40s, but you also have a wind chill. So it's a chilly morning overall. We'll be 53 at noon, and then when the kids get out of school, anything from the upper 50s to the low 60s for another very, very warm February day. Back to you.
Rod, thank you. The Tillamook School District will be closed today after a threat circulating on social media and through phone calls. Though they did not specifically say what kind of threat it was, the district says law enforcement is actively investigating. They say at this time there's not enough information to determine if the threat is credible, but classes are canceled today out of an abundance of caution.
In another top story this morning, a federal judge has ruled immigration agents in Oregon must stop arresting people without warrants unless they are likely to escape.
The ruling is a preliminary injunction as part of a proposed class action lawsuit. Thomas Schultz joins us live now from North Portland. So Thomas, what led up to the judge's decision?
Yeah, well, guys, the judge heard testimony about these arrests, including the arrest of a Hillsboro grandfather named Victor Cruz. Cruz said that he was detained and held for 3 weeks in an immigration facility, even though he has a valid work permit and a pending visa application. The judge called actions of agents in Oregon, quote, violent and brutal, and said he had concerns about the administration denying due process. We reached out to the Department of Homeland Security about this, but haven't heard back. Though in court filings, the federal government says in part plaintiffs cannot establish they are likely to suffer irreparable harm in the absence of an injunction because the harm they fear is speculative. Adding an injunction would interfere with an exclusive function of the president, the ability to enforce immigration. Now, there were similar cases filed here where judges ruled against the administration, both in Colorado and in Washington, D.C. Similar rulings to what we're seeing here in Oregon. Key note, though, the federal government is appealing both of those decisions across the country. Guys.
Thomas, thank you. Meanwhile, we're hearing from President Donald Trump about immigration enforcement, particularly when it comes to tactics, in an exclusive interview on NBC Nightly News.
Mr. President, speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. These are criminals. We're dealing with really hard criminals.
And those comments came as Border Czar Tom Homan announced plans to withdraw around 700 immigration officers from Minnesota, promising, quote, smarter enforcement, not less enforcement.
The Trump administration is investigating Beaverton-based Nike around claims it discriminated against white workers. The chair of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission wrote in the filing that she believes, quote, Nike may have taken these unlawful actions in an effort to create, in Nike's own words, a representative workforce equal to the consumer and communities it serves. Nike's recent 5-year plan included 2 goals. The first, to have 30% minority representation at the director level. The second, to have 35% representation rate across the workforce. By 2025, the company had surpassed those goals, and the EEOC says the company failed to provide information it asked for in the fall, something Nike disputes. Now, in a quote, they say, this feels like a surprising and unusual escalation. We've had extensive good faith participation in an EEOC inquiry into our personal practices, programs, and decisions, and have had ongoing efforts to provide information and engage constructively with the agency. Now, it's important to note that the allegations of preferential treatment were not made by workers with the company. Nike has been sued for racial discrimination in the past, but those suits have been raised by people of color. We are just days away from Super Bowl 60, where the Seahawks will take on the New England Patriots in Santa Clara, California, in the most watched television event in the U.S.
And while most watch for the game or the halftime show, others just watch for the ads. Jen Sullivan sat down with one beer company's marketing department to learn about their craft in making a Super Bowl commercial.
When it comes to Super Bowl commercials,
why didn't they invite us? Well, we're salty.
The competition to win your attention may be just as fierce as the competition on the field.
When you talk about the Super Bowl, the pressure is always high.
Ricardo Marquez is the vice president of marketing for Michelob Ultra, one of the many beer brands that's owned by Anheuser-Busch. This year's ad is called the Ultra Instructor, featuring big names like Kurt Russell,
Strap in,
and Lewis Pullman, who skis against NHL player and former Olympian TJ Oshie and gold medalist Chloe Kim for the ultimate prize, not having to pick up the bar tab.
Here we have the opportunity to connect with an audience of 100+ million consumers.
Last year, more than 127 million people on average in the U.S. tuned into the Super Bowl, according to Nielsen. It's consistently the most watched event on television every year. For marketing companies, it's a whole year of planning on the line that boils down to 30, or in this case 60, seconds on the clock.
This was a multi-month process.
And it comes with a multi-million-dollar price tag. NBC, which is carrying the big game this year, says some companies are paying upwards of $10 million for a 30-second spot. And while Michelob Ultra won't release what they paid, they did say it's a big financial investment, which is why their team spends an entire year working on it.
Humor, nostalgia, or inspiration, emotion always wins on the Super Bowl stage.
Marcus says, well, you want to create something memorable, the ultimate goal is promoting your product. They also measure success by how much buzz the commercial gets online, which is why many companies now release their ads ahead of the Super Bowl. And Monday morning, it's back to the drawing board to come up with next year's big idea. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And speaking of Super Bowl entertainment, coming up at 7:45, we are taking you live to California, where Bad Bunny is getting ready for a halftime, what the Grammy Award winner says fans can expect to see this coming Sunday.
Time now is 7:09. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at your weather.
Well, we're still watching the air move around, talking about gusty winds continuing out of the gorge into East Multnomah County. Troutdale right now reporting 39-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Generally, these have been 40, 45. I think that continues today, and really just in this close proximity area to the gorge itself. There are some splintered zones where the east winds are a bit noticeable, but overall, the winds will be mainly light away from that area. And our forecast overall continues to be really sunny and really mild. Here's a pretty shot of our Timberline camera looking at the pre-sunrise colors. It's warm up there, 47 degrees. Timberline 6,000 feet and Meadows Base at 5,000 feet, both hit 54 degrees yesterday. Down in the valley, beautiful shot from the Vineyard Chehalem Tasting Room camera in Sherwood, 39 degrees. There are some cold, frosty areas around, and there are some fog pockets around. Scappoose 31, Battleground 30, and then 40s here because of some east wind movement of the air. 43 downtown Portland, 46 degrees in Tigard. Out the door, there are fog pockets around Corvallis and Albany, each city 31, 32 degrees reported. But once you get outside and the sun starts warming and you're out for lunch today, it's going to feel really nice. 60 degrees or better at the coast again, and then upper 50s to low 60s up and down I-5 again. It was even 60 up in Seattle yesterday. We've got 56 in Bend, and we've got 56 in John Day. Notice, did you see the cloud icon? And only 40s from Pendleton back into the Dalles and Hood River. That low cloud lockdown continues. 7-day forecast. Nice weather today, tomorrow, and then we got the rain this weekend. It starts before noon. It's raining most of Sunday. Scattered showers to start next week. And here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with an update on that traffic alert over on the west side. A little bit of good news here. I-405 northbound, whatever was hanging up the drive near the Fremont Bridge has cleared, and northbound traffic is flowing again there. So that's the good news, but we do have some residual delay, which extends back to the Sylvan Hills. So Highway 26, a little extra busy now for this hour anyway. 22, 23 minutes is what gets you in from Hillsborough. Note the fog as well. This is the lower right-hand part of your screen right there. That's the southbound interstate bridge, and you can see the commute there slipping through the fog out of Clark County. So tightening up a little bit there. 14 minutes gets you in from Main Street. And last but not least, also on the west side, West Service, TriMet West Service, commuter rail disrupted between Tigard and Beaverton due to a mechanical issue. Guys, right now, TriMet is using shuttle buses to serve stops between Tigard and Beaverton, so obviously expect some delays there. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. The opening ceremony for the Winter Olympics just over 24 hours away. And coming up, we're taking you live in Milan, where athletes from around the world are getting ready to compete. Don't go anywhere. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We are are taking a live look at Milan, Italy right now, one of 2 host cities for the 2026 Winter Olympics. The opening ceremony is just over 24 hours away, and the world is eagerly waiting for the start of the games.
We say hello to Anne-Marie Tiernan from WTHR, our station in Indianapolis. She will be covering the Winter Games for us in Italy. Anne-Marie, what's the atmosphere like out there right now?
Well, China and Matthew, a lot of building excitement and momentum as we count down to opening ceremony. So it's Thursday afternoon. It's a little after 4 o'clock. We're 30 minutes away from the women's hockey team competing here in Milan. And that's really exciting for the people that are following Team USA because they are really favored to have a place on the podium. They've got this big rivalry with Canada. And this game happens to be against the Czech Republic. But we think that this will be one of the games and matches that is just counting down to a place on the podium for them here at Milan. And I want to show you, this is their jersey. Super cool here. And right here on the collar, I want to have you have a little close up there. I hope you can see that. It says Land of the Free, Home of the Brave. So it's one of those little Easter eggs that's on this jersey. And then also here on the back is the little Milan Cortino. We got to see that right there, that little signature there as well. And this is what the ladies will be wearing, and hopefully they'll be framing it and putting it up in their basement for all time, for years to come, to say, I was at the games and we got a place on the podium. And we do have a little bit of a development today when it comes to women's hockey. The preliminary round, there was a match between Finland and Canada, rescheduled. Unfortunately, because Team Finland is now dealing with the norovirus. So that's a little bit of the changes in women's hockey, but a lot of people counting down to opening ceremony here. This is going to be at San Siro Stadium, which seats 80,000 people. People that are going to that ceremony are told that it begins at 8 o'clock, but they're going to open the doors as early as 4 because they anticipate that security will be tight and they want to have plenty of time for everyone to get to their seat. Of course, there's going to be 2 cauldrons. The other cauldron, the one here at San Siro in Milano, the other up in Cortina, where they're going to have this simultaneous lighting of the Olympic cauldron during the opening ceremony. That's never been done before. Really interested to see how that plays out. And it's really great for the viewers in Portland. They're going to have a front row seat to see this happening simultaneously 5 hours apart. For those of us that are in Italy, we have to pick a spot, but not you. You can be on the couch, you can be watching and see all of it happening in real time.
It is very exciting that we get to watch both here. Let's talk about Team USA. What are the biggest storylines or the athletes that we should be watching as these games get underway?
You know, Ilya Malinin is just the quad god on the ice. I think that's just a great story. Figure skating team competition gets underway tomorrow. And then there's no denying the interest in Lindsey Vonn. You know, she comes in here at 41 years old, just this great comeback story. Then she injures her left knee, her ACL, when she was practicing last Friday in Switzerland. And then on Tuesday, she comes out in a press conference and says, you know what, I'm going to compete anyway. And she has competition on Sunday, she has competition on Tuesday, and competition on Thursday. It is her intention to compete in all of them. And I gotta tell you, I just was on social media and she released some video of her jumping. Oh. Yes, practicing jumping. Wow. Think of what jumping does to your knee. Oh. So, I mean, I talked to her therapist yesterday and he said, you know what, I've spent years with Lindsey getting her ready for this moment, and one thing I can tell you for sure is she does not experience pain like the rest of us, and I think that's really evident from the video that she released on social media today. Definitely a storyline that's not only capturing Team USA but other people around the world as well, as she goes to defy the odds and get down there. She said it's only 90 seconds. What's 90 seconds? And we're going to see how she does.
Yeah, that's going to be a storyline that everybody's keeping an eye on. Anne-Marie, thank you so much. We will talk to you again tomorrow. And of course, we're counting down to the opening ceremony. That's coming up again tomorrow. You can watch it live here on KGW at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can also catch the replay in prime time.
And this Olympics, we want to celebrate your favorite local coach. Head to kgw.com/thankyoucoach to share your story and nominate a leader who makes a difference. Look for your nominees to be celebrated on air during the Olympics starting next week right here on Sunrise.
Yeah, for Lindsey Vonn, giving it a go.
Good
but
for her.
That's going to be one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I just hope she has a good run.
Yeah.
Me
right?
too.
And this is
Yeah.
a good field story all the way to the end
Yep.
of it. All right, let's get you going. We have this warm, sunny weather pattern for most of us continuing. The clouds arcing clearly way around us. The weekend is looking really wet right now. Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and Sunday. I'll get to that. Here's Futurecast. The one spot, this is 2 o'clock this afternoon. Generally, we're going to be sunny here at the coast and the valley. But this is that low cloud lockdown. Yesterday, we had highs only in the 40s under the low clouds in Hood River, the Dalles, now to Pendleton. That's going to continue today. It's going to continue tomorrow. And then with the rain coming in over the weekend, that will clear you folks out of the low cloud lockdown. And it will also end the east winds as weather systems come in for the weekend. Troutdale gusting to about 40 today. Corbett had a 76-mile-per-hour gust last night. Crazy. Here's the rain. Saturday morning, you wake up, it's raining at the coast. I think by noon, it's raining in Portland. This is not showery weather. This is a wall or a rain band of steady rain coming in. And I think once it starts, it'll be raining much of the remainder of Saturday night, and much of Sunday. This is one of the wetter weather models, and it does show well over an inch in Salem, Portland, and over 2 inches at the coast. The drier models show that we get an inch in Portland. So no matter how you look at it, a pretty wet weekend coming. And what about snow? This would be 4,000 to 5,000 feet up on Mount Hood, with snow becoming possible not until later in the day Sunday, into Sunday night, and into Monday morning, which is what this shows. The snow level, I think, is above government camp most of the day Sunday, but Timberline should be getting wet, heavy snow, and maybe that does stack up to 8 inches or so at Timberline on Sunday. Here's a look at our Snookwoods Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. There's the fog from Vancouver to the Springs at the waterfront crossing the I-5 bridge. There are frosty, foggy spots around this morning. PDX, in fact, has slipped down to 34 degrees this morning. So, you know, what you get when you're mainly clear and you have an east wind bringing dry air in that's allowed to clear overnight. But the warm afternoon is a go. 66 in Pacific City. A reminder, if you're in the gorge, different story. This will be the cold spot. 40s in Hood River and the Dalles under a thick low cloud deck. The valley generally up to about 60 or warmer again. There's the rainy weekend, and we have scattered showers to start next week. And here is Chris McGinnis.
Thanks for that. Here's a quick look at your drive time. Starting to creep up a little bit over on the west side. The inbound Sunset's up to 24 minutes to get you in from Hillsboro. There's a live look at the roads right now. You can see Highway 26 a little slow at the Sylvan Hill, and I-5, of course. Slow and steady over the Interstate Bridge. 15 minutes get you in from Main Street to the Fremont. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The clock is ticking in the search for the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Investigators say Nancy Guthrie was taken against her will, and her family fears that time may be running out. They say that she cannot go long without critical medication, raising serious concerns about her safety.
Savannah Guthrie, along with her sister and brother, made an emotional plea for their mother's safe return in a new video posted to Instagram. Maribel Gonzalez has the latest.
Our mom is our heart and our home.
A gut-wrenching plea from the Guthrie siblings for their mother's safe return after her apparent abduction from her home.
She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer.
Savannah Guthrie addressing purported ransom notes sent to media outlets who forwarded them to law enforcement.
We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen.
Investigators have not yet said if the notes are legitimate, but the Pima County Sheriff said Tuesday he was not dismissing them.
We're following all leads we have. That's all I can tell you.
The Guthrie social media post comes on day 4 of a complicated search for the 84-year-old.
They need to take this one-way conversation and turn it into a two-way conversation for this to move forward.
One key challenge for investigators is geographic. Many homes in the area, including Guthrie's, are secluded by desert plants, set back from the road, and dark without streetlights. Even if doorbell camera footage is available, they may not capture activity on neighborhood streets. Meanwhile, the Arizona community is rallying behind one of their own, holding a vigil for Guthrie's safe return.
What is happening is heart-wrenching.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Taking a live look over our Rose City Skycam. We'll have more after the break.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Coming up on 7:29 on your Thursday morning drive. Drive times are starting to creep up a little bit. Nothing way out of whack here, but almost 20 minutes now to get you in from Hillsborough. That's the drive on the west side. There's the live look at Highway 26 there at Sylvan. And check out the fog right now, North Portland. This is up near the Expo Center. That extends over towards the Interstate Bridge. So with that in mind, that drive is building a bit. 16 minutes, Main Street to the Fremont. Rod?
Well, my big story is a lot of us are going to be sunny and warm again today. Seaside hit 67 yesterday, so warm enough to enjoy the ice cream shops in town, that's for sure. There's our live camera this morning. There's a little bit of thin high cloudiness, but overall mostly sunny. No frost on the grass up at elevation. That That's the Mount Hood, Oregon Resort in Welch is at 1,500 feet. I bring that up because there are frosty spots down low here in the flats of the valley this morning. Portland underway for a sunny day, mid-30s on average out the door, 53 at noon. And when the kids get out of school, we will again be nearing 60 degrees. Weekend rain is a sure bet at this point, developing around midday Saturday.
We start your 7:30 half-hour breaking news in Northwest Portland, where we are hearing reports of police activity near Fremont Bridge.
Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live from that scene. Corey, what are you seeing out there now?
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China PPB have just confirmed that officers with the Portland Police Bureau have been involved in a critical incident in the area of Northwest 14th Avenue, and Raleigh Street here in the Pearl District. Now, a heavy police presence still out here at this time. They say there's no ongoing threat to the public, though, at this hour, but multiple streets are still blocked off in the area, and crime scene tape does remain. We did see a tactical unit on scene about an hour ago when we arrived here, but they have since left the scene. There is an ambulance still out here, it's creating quite a traffic impact as well. Northwest Quimby and 14th Avenue, as well as Raleigh and 15th Avenue, where drivers are being turned around and detoured. Now, a woman we spoke with early this morning says she lives in the building near where the shooting happened. Now, she told us police told her they were issuing a search warrant prior to that officer-involved shooting. A spokesperson with PPB is expected to arrive here shortly to give us some more information on exactly what led up to that shooting, who was involved. And as we get those details confirmed, we'll continue to keep you updated. But for now, this is impacting pedestrians as well as transit, creating that traffic impact. Let's send things over to Chris McGinnis.
Corey, thanks for that. And, we're not sure if that was related to some earlier issues on the Fremont Bridge northbound I-405. We had a lane blockage here for some time this morning. That has cleared out. And back to the drive now. We've got some residual slowing over on the west side, over on the Sunset inbound, but it looks like we're getting back to normal. 21 minutes now get you in from Hillsborough to downtown. The I-5 drive a little slow in the fog this morning. That's 17 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Also, for folks that use West Commuter Rail, TriMet's having a mechanical issue in the near the Tiger Transit Center. So right now they're using shuttles to serve west stops between the Tiger Transit Center and Beaverton. That'll obviously add some time to your morning commute if you ride West Commuter Rail. Rod, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. Well, we're back to seeing some white on the grass, frosty conditions in front of our state capitol this morning. Temperature at McNary Field nearby is 34. This is a day where the bigger headline will be the warm afternoon temperatures. Sunny start for Portland. PDX also at 34 degrees. It's been freezing at Pearson Airfield up in Vancouver. And Chris mentioned that fog in the Delta Park area back to the Interstate Bridge. But sunny skies will be the general rule. We'll be back into the 50s at noon, so that's a nice morning warm-up. 54 at 5 o'clock, but the highs today, 2-3 o'clock hour, will be back to around 60 degrees for many of you. Hope you're enjoying it. That's your forecast.
Rod, thank you. In an update, evacuation orders have been lifted in Canby after a massive industrial explosion Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, surveillance video showing chunks of debris raining down, leaving a trail of damage, even blowing off part of the roof. Canby's fire chief says a high-pressure tank at Kitty Hawk Products used for making metal parts exploded. We spoke with one man whose truck was hit by flying debris.
I wasn't sure if the building was going to come down. I walked out front, was checking stuff out, and I thought I felt the heat from the fire, but it was that thing on the ground that bounced and hit my truck. It was radiating heat. It was like I was standing next to a bonfire.
3 employees were in the building at the time of the explosion. 1 suffered minor injuries.
Please don't balance the budget on the backs of our children.
In a plea to state lawmakers, Portland public school leaders laid out what they call a dire situation. This comes as the district faces huge budget deficit. This year's gap, $50 million.
Thomas Schultz joins us live from Portland Public School headquarters in North Portland. And Thomas, this is not the first time the district is dealing with this.
Yeah, guys, no, it's not. Parents well know, as well as administrators in the school district, this will be the 3rd year in a row that cuts are happening here in Portland Public. If they do go ahead and cut $50 million from that budget, that could lead to 300 jobs lost district-wide. PPS is also looking into possibly closing schools. There's a bunch of reasons the biggest school district in Oregon finds themselves in this hole, namely declining enrollment, rising costs, cuts in federal funding, and the biggest issue that they've been facing for years, not enough state funding. Some parents have long argued the Oregon legislature has never given schools adequate levels of money. Now, PPS Board Chair Eddie Wong says the district is asking lawmakers to explore ways to increase money for schools. Wong says leaders at PPS have shown support even in exploring a state sales tax to fund education.
It's not fun anymore. It's pretty difficult. And right now in PPS, the morale is at an all-time low.
Our educators and our students are doing all that they can, and we just need our state and the funds to follow.
Armstrong adds that these cuts would lead to a 7% reduction in the total workforce for Portland Public. She does add that over the next 6 to 9 months, they're going to be looking into ways to possibly limit how many jobs are cut. One way that they're looking at, parents might not like this, is possibly closing schools. Matthew, China.
Thomas, thank you. Well, meanwhile, Portland Public Schools is responding to concerns from parents at Woodlawn Elementary by adding another teacher to second grade. Parents say both second grade classes currently have 30 students each, making it challenging for kids to learn. On Wednesday, parents submitted a petition for a third teacher to district headquarters. Parents say they gathered more than 250 signatures in the petition. We spoke to one parent before Portland Public said that it would add a third teacher.
It's been difficult. She has 30 children in her class for one educator, and we have outstanding educators, and I think people that work really hard and are passionate, but those numbers are overwhelming.
It's unclear yet if Woodlawn will receive another full-time teacher or an educator who is there part-time. The district says it will work with parents to get their input throughout the process.
What I know is that my constituents are also asking me why we keep finding millions of dollars that are missing.
Portland officials are still sorting out millions in unaccounted housing funds. Another $15 million was recently found on top of $20 million discovered in November. The city says it's old, unspent money that was never budgeted. The councilors debated next steps yesterday, with Loretta Smith expressing frustration.
They asked for money, said that they were in deficit, but now we find out they got $21 million. What you gonna do about it? Because we don't have to have a hearing. I don't need to wait until March 6th. I need the administration and the executive to act, because now we know. We don't have to investigate. We got something for sure right here. Somebody needs to tell me something right now. I don't need to go to a hearing.
The council rejected hiring an outside investigator, which would have cost about $100,000. An oversight meeting on the unspent funds is planned in the coming weeks.
Now to Salem, where a battle over Oregon's farmland is moving forward with a new bill focused on agritourism.
So it's raising the question, when does a farm stop being a farm and turn into something more commercial? This bipartisan bill would remove revenue caps and allow larger farm store structures. Opponents of the bill say that they're concerned that it would expose protected farmland to commercial development, potentially raise land prices and hurt smaller farms.
We have the public out, they're paying admission fees, they're buying food. All that extra revenue is actually just allowing us to reinvest in our business. By eliminating income restrictions, it stops us from worrying about selling one too many donuts or having one too many guests show up.
Agritourism is a way for farmers to make a little bit of extra money, not for event venue owners to have a beautiful venue on farmland. And when that happens, we start to see real farmers being priced out of agricultural land.
So the bill says that counties can still regulate parking, traffic, and noise. It also requires that people actively farm at least half of their land.
It is 7:38. Time to get over to Rod for a full check of the forecast.
Well, 72 in Newport yesterday. It was 72 in Bend, both cities tying for the warmest in Oregon. And that warm weather expected this afternoon once again. Maybe not those numbers, but we'll be well up into the 60s at the coast. Beautiful clear sky morning from Schnookwan's Casino Resort in Lincoln City. There's the rising sun from Portland. It was 58 out of PDX. and 60 yesterday here in downtown, which tied the record for the date. We'll be right around that mark again. Today's record out at the airport, by the way, is 58 degrees. Certainly something that we will be approaching, I think. And I do want to point out there are some cold, frosty spots. That is frost on the grass out at Camas Meadows Golf Course. This is on the east side. Now, parts of the east side are seeing gusty winds to 45 miles per hour, but then you have other spots where the wind is simply not blowing and temperatures have dropped like a stone down to the freezing mark. It's 31 up in Scappoose, 30 up in Battleground. Hillsboro has been freezing at 34, and it's 33 down Wilsonville. All the 40s are being held up by some movement of the air by the east wind. There's freezing in Corvallis and Albany this morning as well. Hey, Nala is our pet of the day, and you can use that email address, petoftheday@kgw.com. Send us your pet's photo. We'll get them on the show. We had a tortoise earlier in the week, and it's a beautiful standard poodle this morning. Beautiful. Nala is our pet of the day. All right, here's a look at our afternoon map. We still have that low cloud lockdown where it's going to be very overcast with still air and temperatures in the 40s today from Hood River to the Dalles out into Pendleton. Everybody else will be getting in on the sunny skies with the warming temperatures. We'll be generally upper 50s to low 60s again in the valley. We'll have another warm day tomorrow. We've got the rainy weekend developing in Portland as early as late morning Saturday, and then it's going to be raining more than not through the day Sunday. Your weekend looks wet. Snow levels generally hold above government camp, it looks like, until Sunday night. That means that would be rain. That's your forecast. Here's Chris.
Okay, Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with a new traffic alert on the west side. We'll pick it up on the Sunset. This is going to be westbound Highway 26, just up the hill from the Vista Ridge Tunnel, right near the Jefferson exit ramp. Looks like there's a couple of cars there tangled up in a fender bender. Up the hill, westbound, left lane is blocked, and obviously now that is spilling back onto I-405 southbound. So plan a few extra minutes to get around that. There's I-205, by the way, over in Oregon City. Your southbound commute normal, slow and go there, heading southbound over the Abernathy Bridge. And at last check, over on the east side, westbound I-84 up a few ticks in the drive time fun meter. 24 minutes gets you in from Troutdale to downtown.
Chris, thank you. Still to come on Sunrise, we are taking you live to California, where the Seahawks aren't the only ones preparing for Sunday's big game. Bad Bunny is busy preparing for his big halftime performance. What you can expect to see when Sunrise continues in just 2 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
For some people, the Super Bowl is all about the football. For others, it's about the food. And for some, the main attraction is the halftime show.
Yeah, this year, Grammy Award-winning artist Bad Bunny will take the stage. And Drew Andre with our sister station in Seattle joins us live this morning with more on what we can expect from his big halftime performance. Good morning, Drew.
Hey, good morning there. Of course, all of this week there have been events, a lot of press conferences too, but none with more media coverage than this Bad Bunny press conference. We are more than 2 hours out from the press conference, and you can kind of see behind me, this is already the line that has been forming by the media here for the 10 a.m. press conference. So that gives you a sense of the kind of coverage related to this. The Puerto Rican artist is, of course, one of the biggest stars in the world, and he's red hot right now too, coming off of wins at the Grammys last weekend. And his selection has gained a lot of attention. He'll be performing in Spanish. He's also been an open critic of the Trump administration. Earlier this week, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was asked about the choice to have Bad Bunny take the stage.
This platform is used to unite people and to be able to bring people together with their creativity, with their talents, and to be able to use this moment to do that. And I think artists in the past have done that. I think Bad Bunny understands it, and I think he'll have a great performance.
And we have a PNW connection to performing at the Super Bowl. Washington's very own Brandi Carlile. Before kickoff, she'll be singing America the Beautiful. She'll be speaking at the press conference today, too, along with Charlie Puth, who is singing the national anthem, and Coco Jones performing Lift Every Voice and Sing. So we, of course, will have more coverage throughout the day related to all of this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll send it back to you in Portland.
Drew Andre reporting for us. Thank you, Drew.
And we do have a coverage every night leading up to Super Bowl 60. Check out our Countdown to Kickoff special at 8 o'clock tonight on our free TV streaming app, KGW+. And you can watch the big game between the Seahawks and Patriots at 3:30 Sunday afternoon right here on KGW.
Too many countdowns. We got the countdowns to the Olympics.
Now
we got the countdown to the Super Bowl.
I just asked our producer, where is he? Because we've done him for the Olympics in different locations. There's just a lot going on.
This whole Super Bowl weekend is so spread out between San Francisco and Santa Clara, and
And of course, the Super Bowl, before they expanded the season, was the last weekend in January for years. So it never overlapped with the Olympics, but now it does. So,
well, now everybody's wants it pushed back so that the Monday after the Super Bowl lines up with, was it President's Day? Is it President's Day?
There's been that movement to make that a federal holiday, perhaps tied to President's Day.
Exactly.
Or Super Bowl Saturday works just fine too.
Generally, I favor days off. So whatever your program is,
kickoff's at 3:30 out here makes it a little bit easier to.
We can go to work.
That's very, very true. We have a dry day coming up again. Clouds are arcing out way well around us. There is rain for the weekend. If you have plans this weekend, outside of when you start off your Saturday morning, it does look wet. I want to let you know this low cloud lockdown, which last time we had this, the low clouds, the chilly temperatures in the Dalles, Hood River, and outdoor Pendleton, went on for over a week. This time it started yesterday. It will last through tomorrow. Then it breaks up Saturday as weather systems start to come in. The gusty east winds will break up Saturday as well. Here it still is tomorrow. And then here is Saturday morning when you wake up, rain starting to arrive at the coast. I think it'll be raining in Portland before noon on Saturday. And then once it starts, there's going to be more moisture feeding up. The cold front, that's the driver of all of this, will slowly cross Sunday morning. And it could be raining steadily much of Saturday afternoon, much of Saturday night, and really much of the day Sunday as well. Weather models like this being a really wet system. This is one of the wetter models. I will tell you the drier numbers from some of the other models still show Portland getting an inch. I mean, most models like Portland on Sunday alone getting at least 3/4 of an inch. This shows well over an inch, and it shows the coast could get 2, and it puts pretty good moisture through the gorge and out into central Oregon as well. Now, what about snow? Okay, the story's not great for this weekend. Snow levels will be 6,000 feet or maybe even slightly higher on Saturday. That would be maybe wet snow at Timberline, maybe a rainy mix, but all rain down at pass level. This is snow potential through Monday 5 p.m. Latest data shows Government Camp is probably just wet all weekend. Snow levels fall Sunday night into Monday morning and maybe near pass level to 5,000 feet. That's 4 inches, maybe a little bit more. Timberline could have, if it's mostly snow at Timberline Saturday night and Sunday, that'll stack up some pretty hefty amounts of a wet snow that could be 8 inches or more. So that's what we're looking at for the mountain. Frost on the grass this morning in front of our state capitol, 34 degrees. So there are some cold spots. Another beautiful sunny day coming though. Look at the downtown cityscape illuminated by the rising sun. 34 out at the airport. Kelso's 38. Cloudy and kind of foggy up there for you right now. We have freezing temps in Bend and 20 in Baker City and 20 out in Burns. Forecast, let's go to the valley. Another day where it will be upper 50s to low 60s on average, which is what you're looking at here. Lots of sunshine after morning fog pockets. Similar numbers up in southwest Washington. Those east winds continuing to blow near the gorge along the Columbia to about 40 miles per hour. So 2 warm days today and tomorrow left. Then the weekend rain we talked about. Scattered showers Monday and Tuesday. There's a weather front Thursday of next week, and that one could kick off about 2 solid weeks of every weather system expected to bring some snow at Cascade Pass level. That would be good news. Here's Chris.
The huge news. All right, let's get you out the door with a couple of updates on your drive right now. We had some earlier trouble on the west side. I'm happy to report that southbound 405, that situation is clear. The crash west of the Vista Ridge Tunnel has just cleared, so the drive improving there. But the eastbound commute is tightening up, and maybe sun glare has something to do with that. Right now it's a 28-minute ride to get you in from Hillsborough. Also foggy through North Portland and slow over the Interstate Bridge. 21 minutes now, get you in from Main Street to the Fremont. And last but not least, West Commuter Rail running on shuttles this morning between the Tigard and Tigard. I tried to combine Tigard and Beaverton. Tigard and Beaverton shuttle buses serving west stops there because of some earlier mechanical issues near Tigard. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. On Monday, a new women's shelter is opening in Northwest Portland. It will have 75 beds and be open overnight 7 days a week.
Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has more on what the space will offer.
It's called Bethany's Room, and it's an overnight women's shelter that's aimed to help those who are unhoused stay safe during the overnight hours. Now, it's run by the local nonprofit Blanchet House. The 75-bed shelter will open with security 7 days a week from 8 at night to 8 in the morning. Now, the overnight shelter is named in honor of a woman who frequented the Blanchet Cafe Diner and died while she was homeless. There will be a trained peer support professional on site to help connect women to services with the goal of leading them to long-term and stable housing. It's a positive sign for women like Jen, who say they've spent 2 years living on the streets of Portland and know the danger firsthand.
It's very hard out here. As a woman, we're getting hurt, we're getting robbed, we're getting raped, we're getting, these things are happening. We need the places where we can go and where we can feel safe.
Inside the facility, there's also sound masking technology, which will help to keep the space calm and also provide a sense of privacy. Back to you.
Flu cases back on the rise. Coming up, what's causing it and what you can do to protect yourself. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
A measles outbreak in Clark County has health officials warning about possible exposures, especially in Ridgefield.
Health officials say since late January, 1 measles case in the county has grown to 7. The new cases involve 1 adult and 5 kids. They say transmission in all cases happened in private spaces, but the original patient may have exposed others in 2 public settings while contagious. One was at Ridgefield High School between January 14th and 16th, the other at the Vancouver Clinic in Ridgefield on the 21st between 4 and 9 p.m. For some parents of young kids like Deja Hyde, learning the virus has spread was frustrating.
So my hope is that people will start taking it more serious, and hopefully that they can start, getting their vaccinations and stuff to keep everyone safe.
Health officials say about 90% of people in Clark County are vaccinated against measles, but a 95% vaccination rate is needed to achieve herd immunity. Meanwhile, flu cases are once again spreading across the U.S. thanks to a very small increase in infections caused by influenza B. Yvonne Rodriguez has more on this second peak of infections and what people should know.
If you thought flu season was over, think again.
We're actually seeing activity come back.
Dr. Caitlin Rivers with Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health says the country is seeing an increase in cases of flu B, primarily among children aged 5 through 17.
What we often see is that kids are the first to be affected by new trends, and then older age groups really start to see the effects. Flu B often becomes more common in the spring, so there's some of that going on, but I don't think it really explains the full rebound.
Rivers, who also writes about infectious disease trends in her Force of Infection Substack, says this pattern is similar to what the U.S. saw last year when flu climbed to a second peak in late February after initially falling. The recent winter storm across the country might also play a role.
I am hopeful, but not certain, that the severe winter weather that a lot of the country experienced over the last week will interrupt that expansion into other age groups, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Influenza B strains are a whole different family of viruses. Even if you've had the flu once this season, it's possible to get it again if you catch a different strain. The good news is this year's flu vaccine protects against 2 A strains and 1 B strain. So the shots should offer some protection against severe illness and hospitalization.
A majority of the deaths that we see from influenza are in older adults. So extra important if you are, say, over the age of 65, that you get your flu vaccine and that you're careful during flu season to protect yourself.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with an officer-involved incident in Portland's Pearl District.
The latest in the ongoing investigation coming up.